My wife, Karen, she and I were married for 28 wonderful years. We learned in the early 2000s that Karen had contracted hepatitis C. We had obviously known that she was critically ill, and we had discussed lots of things, such as what my life was going to be like afterwards. But we never expected the dramatic and rapid change in her condition that just went from a happy couple enjoying a weekend in Austin to a person who was literally dying. We were in a situation where Karen was in a sterile environment of an emergency room and then an ICU, and so I needed help. We had not discussed the possibility of needing that decision in terms of her final care.
My husband, Bob, passed away very tragically and suddenly of a massive heart attack. In 5 minutes, my life was flipped upside down. Bob and I just had this fun life. We got caught up in having a good time, enjoying each other, building our home, all those kinds of things. We didn't plan. We didn't plan for our future. Therefore, I was thrown into having to make decisions that I never dreamt I would have to make. Down to even whether or not he wanted to be cremated, whether he wanted to be buried, whether he wanted a service, who he wanted to be involved. And then when the family dynamics start coming in, you start questioning, did I do the right thing? Is that really what he would have wanted? My husband was kind of one that he didn't want to talk about it. He was going to live forever. He was going to live forever.
Having been through this process, it just reinforces that conversations at a minimum with your loved ones about your wishes, and even more helpful, having a written directive would be incredibly helpful.
You just have to have the conversation. You have to have it with your spouse, your loved one, your mate. Then you need to go to the rest of your family and have that discussion with them so everyone is on board and knows what the plan is. You know, everyone knows my plan and knows my wishes, and it's in writing. They do not need to have to go through some of these things I had to go through.
With a family who's dealing with this type of situation for the very first time, I think that written statement of the wishes of the person would be incredibly helpful.
It can happen to anybody.